Tuesday, October 10, 2023. This is Rick with the Mercedes Diesel Guy channel. This is my 2002 Mercedes ML320 project. It is dark, and I'm looking fairly ridiculous. So, it is evening, still actually pretty early evening, but I'm losing light a lot earlier now. So, I take the minutes where I can get them. So, I'm going to be out here this evening trying a little something. This is something that I'm pretty sure I saw online at some point in the past, in the last few years, and it's one of those things where it's cheap enough to try it. I only had to buy one thing, and if it works, if it helps, great. If it works, great. If not, I'm not out a lot of money. So this is the worst part of the car. You can see I do have the bumpers on here. The rear bumper is actually just stuck on at the moment. I haven't bolted it down yet, and it's because of what I'm doing here in the rear. So I've got a dent right here by this punched out taillight, and the tailgate, which you probably can't see all that well in the video at the moment, that is all smashed up from when the car got rear-ended, I think, for the previous owner. And the tailgate, which I don't think you can see here in the video, it is also all smashed up. The previous owner told me that he got rear-ended at some point. I don't know if that's what took out the old rear bumper or what, but so I'm going to try to pop these out a bit, and this is not going to be it's not going to look perfect. It's not even going to look great. Once again, if you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you know I go for better, for improvement, because I know that the cars I drive are never going to look perfect, and it's certainly not worth my time or my money to get them to perfect. My goal is to get this to good enough and presentable. So I do have some body working tools. I have a body working hammer and dolly set. I have some suction cup dent pullers, and I also have I've got a slide hammer, and with it I have this big yellow gun that'll weld a stud onto the metal, and then I use the slide hammer to pull out the dent. I'm trying to think if I have anything else. Well, I'm not going to be using any of that tonight, partly because I have to dig most of that stuff out. Tonight, I'm going to be doing something I saw online, and may as well just show you. I'm going to throw a football at it. No. You can see here, this is a football. This is brand new, still in package. I just bought it today. It is firmly inflated, and I am going to change that. I'm going to deflate this ball, and then use a 12-volt tire/sports ball inflator. Stick it behind the panel here, and use that to pop out some of the dents, both in the tailgate and in the side here. This is to mimic some of what I've seen done with paintless dent removal. I've seen somebody, I'm 99% sure that I saw somebody do this online at one point with a sports ball, similar to this one, and once again, this is not going to be perfect. I'm not trained in bodywork in any way, shape, or form, but I'm going to give this a try. So, first thing for me to do is I'm going to open the car up, going to open the tailgate, see if I can get the trim off the rear of that, and see if I can get this tail light out without any instructions for any of that, and at which point I should be pretty much good to go. So I'm going to see if I can get that prepared. As usual, the preliminary work took about 2 to 3 times longer than I originally thought it would. So anyhow, I have the I have that trim panel off the interior of the tailgate. It was actually a bit more involved than I thought it was going to be. I have the tail light out here, and it looks like I actually probably didn't really need to take it out, because I can I don't know if anything here is actually damaged. Even though the bumper, it doesn't seem to be sitting quite right, I don't think it necessarily has to do with this corner. And anyhow, I can access the rear of this dent from inside a compartment here in the back, and I'm assuming that compartment is for holding the jack, which I don't have. I have the football deflated, so now I'm going to stick this in place, get the compressor set up, and I'm probably going to start the engine, even though it's loud, just for the sake of the battery, and we'll see if I can pop this out a bit. I realize the taillight is sort of interfering with the view here, but maybe I'll reposition the camera before I do that. Okay, I think that made a little bit of a difference. I'm going to have to go back and compare the beginning of the clip to the end. I was expecting a dramatic pop out, but I don't think I can really get the football in quite far enough to do that. So I'm going to move on now, reposition the camera and try the one on the tailgate. I think that might be a little easier. Okay, I can definitely see the panel flexing here. Yep, it's doing something. It does seem to be starting to pop this out. And given how complex and mangled this panel is, yeah, that was an interesting sound. Let's see. Okay, so now I have to wonder if I've done more harm than good. So you can see over here, this brace is bent inward on this kind of a curve right here, or angles, however you want to describe this. And this is what it looked like on the other side before. This is what it looks like now. It's certainly, I mean, the football did seem to pop out some of the dent from the outside, but it also mangled this a bit here. Now, I think that somewhat unpleasant sound I heard was this panel buckling, so I mean this piece buckling, so I can probably tap this back in, it'll be okay, but this was certainly not the desired effect. So I'm going to have to go after this with probably more traditional methods. And like I said, I might just end up replacing the hatch. But I want to see if I can clean this up a bit before I do that. So yeah, this is a bit of a disappointment, but I tried something new, and you don't learn unless you do that. So I'm probably going to get a rubber mallet on this right now, see if I can straighten this back out without disturbing the neighbors too much, and then might try to get like a crowbar here on the other side and see about just popping this out a bit and see how that works. So I think I'm going to do that before I call it the end of the video. Alright, let's see if I can do anything to straighten this back out. Okay, that is almost exactly back where it was before, so I'm definitely having more luck on this one. Maybe I can press on it with my hand a bit. No, I think that's about as good as that's going to get for now. Could probably finesse that a bit more later, so I am also going to try with the pry bars to pop some of this mangled tailgate out. So give me a second to reposition the camera. Okay, I'm not sure how visible any of this is going to be, and I'm also not anticipating a lot of luck here. Alright, let's see if this does anything. Okay, yeah. I can see I'm already... It's off camera. Let me reposition here a bit. So I definitely raised this a bit, but I'm going to have to do this in more than one spot because it was raising it. I really don't know how to describe it better than this, but really it was raising it in a very, very localized point right here, which is just getting caught in the shadows on the camera, so you're really not seeing it. And I'm probably going to have to see if I can get the bigger pry bar in there. Oh yeah, the bigger pry bar is definitely making a difference there. You know, I'm going to see if I can access this maybe from the back seat. I don't think it's helping me trying to hold the tailgate while I do this. Okay, I could tell that definitely did something from the other side, and it has made a difference. I'm going to probably work at this a couple minutes more. I'll tell you this, the shadows coming off the light are really making this look worse than it is. Looking at this from the angle where I'm standing, it's actually popped back out quite a bit, so I am going to keep working this. I actually also just got behind this with my bare hands and was able to push it out a bit more. I'm going to do a bit more of that. Once again, this is never going to be perfect or even good. You can see down here it is a bit mangled from the pry bar, but it's already popping out. So I'm going to work on this a bit more. So I'm going to try to get behind there with my hands again and see what I can do. I'd say I would hit this with a mallet, but like I said, I don't want to make too much noise with the neighbors, so yeah, this big one, I mean the one that's larger by area, that big dent, I can feel it wants to go back, but I just don't have quite enough force on it right now to pop it out. That was a satisfying pop. Okay, so once again, I am almost 100% sure that the lighting is exaggerating the effect here, making this look worse than it is, but this dent is it's far better than it was. So I'm going to work on this just a little more this evening, and then I'm going to call it a night. And I think next time I'm out here, what I'll probably do is take off this wrecked piece of trim here at the bottom, and then work with some of my other tools to try to straighten this out a bit better. So I may not even replace the tailgate, because once again, it's a matter of, you know, this is a low to no budget car. The idea is to make it valid transportation without spending a lot of money. So, and this is never going to look good. And there's another thing to note here. This broken piece of trim here at the bottom, I can't find that at this point any cheaper. Just this piece of trim, I can't find it any cheaper than about $160. So I'm going to completely remove it and then find some way of covering over these bolt holes here. That is, unless I replace the tailgate. So I'm going to work this a bit more, and I'll show you the end result. Alright, I'm going to call it quits here for the night. Believe it or not, I'm actually happy with my progress so far. This huge dent here where this was all caved in, this is mostly out now. And I realize it's still incredibly rippled and There's a lot of fine tuning to do, and I mean a lot of fine tuning. The hatch has pretty much regained most of its original shape. This is never going to be perfect. You can see I did take off that trim piece at the bottom, and I think for now it actually looks a lot better that way. So, like I said, the outer plastic piece, that alone, I could not find that for less than $160, and even then it wouldn't be in the right color. So I think what I'm going to do is, once I have this as straightened out as I would like it to get, and at this point I don't think I'm going to replace the tailgate, then I'm going to clean this up here, and I'm going to find some piece of just generic black stick-on trim to cover all these bolt holes here. But there's definitely more to do. You can see this this bottom lip is bent up here. This is still pretty terrible down here. So there's still a lot to do. Got to straighten out this bent lip here at the bottom here. Got to see how much better I can straighten this out. I don't think I really touched this dent too much, so I will need to pop that out. But overall, it has regained most of its original shape. And with the bumpers on, I think it looks substantially better than it did a little over a week ago when I bought it. So there's plenty more work to do here on the cosmetics. Once again, as always, not aiming for perfect. So this is Rick with the Mercedes Diesel Guide channel. Thanks for watching.